Sustaining your standard of living in retirement without giving up your travel. Episode 1, The Retirement Shift. Hi, I'm Rao, 24 years in Canadian banking and wealth management. Today, I help retirees sustain their standard of living without giving up travel. Welcome to episode 1 of a 6-part series on how to sustain your standard of living in retirement without taking more financial risk, delaying retirement, or having to work again just to keep your lifestyle. 30 years ago, retirement felt more predictable. Many people could count on a pension that paid income for life. You didn't have to manage it. You didn't have to monitor the markets. You didn't have to calculate how long would it last. You knew roughly what was coming in each month. There was stability. Today, the picture is different. Government pensions still provide a small base, but guaranteed employer pensions are much less common. That means more of retirement now depends on personal savings and investment accounts, and that shift changed everything in retirement. When income is guaranteed, retirement feels predictable. When income depends on your portfolio, retirement becomes something you must manage. You are balancing how much you withdraw each year, how markets perform, how long you live, how costs evolve over time. And that balance can act and last 25 to 30 years. At the same time, everyday life has become more expensive in many places across Canada, the United States, and the United Kingdom. Housing costs have increased sharply in major cities over the past decade. Energy bills rose significantly in recent years. In some regions, home insurance premiums have climbed. In the US, healthcare costs can vary widely between households. Property taxes tend to rise over time. None of this is dramatic, but these costs don't disappear. They show up every month. Retirement isn't lived annually, it's lived monthly. The insurance renewal, the utility statement, the property tax notice, the travel decision, the heating bill in winter. That's where the pressure shows up. Retirement advice is also fragmented. If you speak to an investment advisor, the focus is on your investment portfolio. If you speak to a mortgage specialist, the focus is on debt. If you look at travel content, the focus is on destinations. Each conversation makes sense on its own, but very few conversations connect portfolio sustainability, cost structure, geography, lifestyle flexibility, long-term living choices. That's where the gap begins. Retirement stretches across investments, housing, healthcare, climate, and lifestyle decisions. No single conversation connects all of that. So, most people manage retirement in pieces. And when retirement is managed in pieces, some disconnects can turn into real financial strain. Most retirement discussions focus heavily on investment returns, withdrawal rates, what happens if markets decline. Those are important, but they are not the only things that shape whether retirement works. But there is something else that shapes retirement every single year. No matter what markets do, it's your cost of living. And that depends heavily on where you live. Where you live shapes your housing costs, your utility bills, insurance, transportation, climate-related expenses, access to healthcare. If your monthly expenses are high and you have no room to adjust, retirement can feel really stressful. If you have flexibility in what you spend and where you live, retirement can feel very light. That doesn't mean that relocating tomorrow. It means understanding that where you live affects what you spend. If we want to sustain our standard of living without taking more financial risk, we have to look at more than just investment performance. We need simple way to test whether your money can truly sustain your standard of living. In the next episode, I will show you the simplest way to do exactly that before you can change anything. Thank you.